With us now are Amanda Ramirez. She's one of our associate producers, and her dear friend, Gia. Welcome both to the show. How are you?
Thank you.
So now, Amanda, since you kind of like orchestrated this whole thing, I thought it might be fun, like a Freaky Friday. So we're going to actually switch places.
No pressure.
No pressure. So you're going to become the host of the segment, okay? We're going to visit with your friend, Gia, okay? So here we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Boom. Okay. Rock and roll. Dun, 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 dun.
Promotion.
Okay. Okay, so now the tables are turned. Here's your card.
Yes, thank you. I need my card. Well, this next guest is not only a friend in my head, but she's been a friend in real life since we were 12 years old. And she and her husband have an award-winning atelier up in Hudson and in Southampton. So here is interior designer Gia Albergo Delmar.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Wonderful to be here.
So when we first started here, when I first came in, I noticed that you had the old TV 55 chairs, and they were just a tad bit dated. Just a tad. And what I wanted to do, instead of just getting rid of them, I reached out to Gia, I reached out to you and see if there was any way that they could be repurposed. Especially in the wake of COVID. I mean, you came into this gorgeous space, and as lovely as it is, the whole thing is that what I wanted to do was just to keep it in a way that you kept the feel of the old studio, but your spin. So, you know, the EP, Lou Vaccarelli and I got in our cars, we dropped them off at the warehouse. Gia came in, she started taking photos of the space, and you could talk more about how you came to these particular styles and colors.
It's wonderful to be able to revamp old furniture, right? It's very sustainable and eco-friendly. Just looking at the colors here in the space, I thought they would be complementary, look great on Donna and her guests, and I just thought they were good for TV and great with the frames, the cherry wood.
That's what I was going to ask too. Is it when somebody has old furniture? Is it and you have to take it all apart and you have to reassemble it? How do you know whether it's trash to treasure, or or if it's something that needs to go away? How do you, as an upholsterer, decide? By the way, you used a fancy word that I didn't know. What did you say they had?
Atelier.
An atelier.
Yes, that's a fancy French word for workshop. So it took me a long time to get the right pronunciation.
Good job,
but
Amanda.
It's Albergo Delmar Atelier.
Understood. So yeah, how do you know?
Well, there definitely people definitely come to us with box store furniture that we would call disposable, unfortunately, and maybe no matter how expensive they may have been at one time, they're manufactured, machine-made by the hundreds, thousands. Sometimes it's not worth doing, so we definitely take it apart, evaluate it. These were good. These had good bones, were strong and sturdy, and they were definitely worth reupholstering. Anything vintage or older is typically worth reupholstering, worth saving.
So this style, what would this be considered, even though it's office furniture?
It's a modern office chair, I would say, right? Probably even from the 50s.
So going off on that, what is your favorite style to design in? Is it based on the client, or when does a client say, I'm open, work your magic?
I think I'm very well versed in all of the historical styles of furniture and architecture and decorative arts. So I'm able to easily manipulate that for each client, each situation. Myself, I am a maximalist of the worst kind. I love antiques and things like this. More is more in my world. But I like to, I want to design.
The word is hoarder in my world, but.
And you can say this as you've been friends since you were 12.
She calls me a hoarder. She's
I'm
a little
going to
more
say the word
minimalist.
is collector of fine things.
Oh,
she's a collector.
No, they're gorgeous, but it's just like,
But no, I have to adapt to the client. I don't want, some designers have a signature style.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is your signature style? But going based on that also, what made you decide to go into interior design? Why not fashion? Why not graphic arts?
I always loved fashion, but I was a very young mother, and I visited some fashion schools, FIT and Parsons, and I could see how really hard they work. It took them a long time to break into the industry, and that scared me, having children. So I felt like I needed something a little bit more reliable, and interior design really grabbed me.
Well, you talk about being a young mom. I've always teased you, but in a loving way, about how you weren't supposed to be a success story in the traditional sense. you want, elaborate a little bit more about, my teasing you. But I say it with love because it's an amazing career that
Thank you. I was a teenage mom, quite literally. And so that was maybe, I guess it was tough looking back. I don't know. I didn't feel it at the time. You're pretty invincible when you're a teenager, young 20s. Thank God. I had the energy to keep it all going and the perseverance. But I think that the kids propelled me to want to be succcesuccessful.
I'm a young mom too, and that's it. You don't know any different.
Exactly.
I mean, I've had that conversation. People have asked me, and they go, "How do you do it?" I'm like, "You don't know what to do.
I don't reflect on it until now. At the time, you're just in it.
I think kids are for the young.
Definitely. It's great. Now I'm a grandmother, and it's
That's
amazing.
what I was just going to say, but there's nothing sweeter than, that next generation, right? And I love that. So we have a lot of our crew, they're getting ready to have their first children. We have some people on our crew, and they have their grandchildren, and I love seeing all those pictures and things like that. Now, you do people's residential homes, you do commercial, but you also do a lot of celebrity talk shows. So I was so excited when Amanda said, okay, she's really my friend, but she does all these famous people.
Yes, she does.
And she might want to, if she likes your stuff, she might want to do your chairs. And I was like, so when I found out that you said yes, it's almost like say yes to the dress. I was like so excited. I was like, I'm going to get original chairs that are upholstered by you. And I'm so delighted and thankful for them.
Oh, my pleasure.
And they're going to have a good life here.
Yes, they're great.
Any extraordinary thing that you have done over the years that you're really genuinely proud of?
Gosh, every single project I'm really proud of. It's so exciting to be able to meet new clients, find their style. I don't try to impose my own style, trying to glean from the husband, the wives, the partners, who are inevitably always on opposite sides of the spectrum, to find that common denominator that they can live together in the design world. So I think that's the challenge, and I'm proud of all of it.
Speaking of which, though, and I don't mean to cut you off, is that speaking of leaning off your husband, you work with your husband.
Yeah, I hired him before I married him. I commissioned him to do a large upholstery job for a catering hall in Long Island, and that's how we met.
It's beautiful, and these are beautiful.
Thank you.
Very much. Amanda, thank you for co-hosting this segment with me. Thank you for introducing me to your friend. And that's kind of what we always say about this show. This show is really like about the family. It's about celebrating the essence of life. It's about good times and good friends and good food. And I hope you'll stay for lunch because we have some extraordinary food that's being delivered today. It's like so yummy. But thank you. And
my pleasure.
And I appreciate the fact that when you came in too, that you liked all the tchotchkes that we have.
I did.
In our 1960s.
I was looking at all of your things. I love it. Love it all.
As we say, collectors. Collectors.
Well,
We're
she
collectors.
calls me a hoarder all
I
the
have to
time.
go sit in this chair because I'm just gonna break the fourth wall. I don't even know if the slider's catching me, but I just want to say it's an awesome day here at the Donna Drake Show. And from our home to your home, happiness and happy journeys. Be well.